Well, hello everybody. That our show right now, the Blue Jay Strike Zone home opener, is brought to you by Carpets for Life. You know, Billy's put me over to Nikki here, even though he's a Montreal Canadian fan. I needed new carpet and everything like that, and superb deal. He gave me a superb deal. Thank you, Billy, for that. All right, I don't know where Marty Roberts is. He claims. I just got a text, Billy. He claims that he has no internet. He does not want to show up on Blue Jay Strike Zone, the home opener, because we also talk about the Maple Leafs and NHL. The Chicago Blackhawks go into Pittsburgh, and Billy, tell everybody the score.
If you're a supporter of the Pittsburgh Penguins, you're scratching your head. You're scratching your head, and frankly, in the biggest game of the year, you lose to a club that's at the top of the draft lottery and relatively handily too. It's the beginning of the end for Crosby, Malkin, Letang, and all these guys. It's a unfortunate turn of events for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
All right, but here we're talking about the Blue Jays home opener at the Rogers Center, newly revamped Rogers Center. Billy, you're probably going to go in. Well, at the end of the year, you'll have a few, no wobbly pops, a few drinks and all that. But first of all, it looked bad at the beginning. Manoah struggled, but then the Blue Jays bats came alive there. And what did you think of the home opener?
Watch me, man. Watch me. This is what I think of it, man. This is what I think. Manoah to me, for the first couple innings and in bits and pieces of this year, he reminds me rather of Blue Jay from yesteryear. And unfortunately, that Blue Jay from yesteryear is Ricky Romero. I see, and again, so you ask yourself, if you're a Blue Jay fan, obviously it's a short sample size, but I'd be extremely concerned if I'm watching my 6'5", 6'6", 260-pound righty throwing 91, 90, 92 and sitting in that range. Because when you're 90, 91, 92 in the big leagues, you cannot, and I repeat this, you cannot make mistakes in the heart of the plate. At 96, as we're accustomed to seeing them, you can get away with some center cut pitches. You can get away with some stuff. But when you're 91 and that ball leaks over the middle of the plate, then you know what happens. The box that they've created here, that's 3 runs on the board. And again, when you don't have the confidence in your fastball, when your velocity is not where you expect it to be, then you become too fine. Then you're looking at picking corners. Then you're looking at an elusive strike zone. So that's what I see in Manoah. And again, I'd be somewhat concerned in this relatively early state in the season.
Well, let's
forget about that, but let's forget about Manoah. We're really here to talk about me, to be honest, right? Obviously, the people want to know.
I'll get to you. I got a surprise
for you. Well done.
Let the guy get a word edgewise. Hold on here. I'll get to you in a second, but the story of the night had to be a guy that me and Steve Carney, along with you, Marty Roberts, was, for sure, we shouldn't bring this guy, Kevin Kiermaier, coming in, hitting home runs, stealing home runs, 5 RBIs on Sunday there. Talk about him.
Well, obviously, if you've heard some of the stuff that's coming out of my mouth, for me, Kevin Kiermaier is a 4th outfielder. He's making me look like a tool about 11 games into the season. He's making himself look like the Kevin Kiermaier of 5-6 years ago. Obviously, for Blue Jay fans that have a brain and watch the game, Kiermaier's destroyed Toronto. He's always hit well in Rogers Center. And if he's the Kevin Kiermaier that we've seen over the initial part of the season moving forward, and you can get him for 120 games, then I'll come on here at the end of the season and I'll tell you I was wrong, which rarely happens because, Joe, a guy like me, there's 2 things that I really, really love to do.
Yeah, 2 things, but
why don't you ask the Greek? Hey, hold on, man, I'm setting you up. Why don't you ask, what do you really like to do? Ask me.
Okay. Greek, what do you really, really like to do? Say great question.
Hold on. How's the hair? Okay. There's 2 things that I really enjoy, Double J, and that's putting money in people's pocket. Take a look at this kisser right there, man. What a handsome.
Honestly, look, you got more.
Hold on, I'm talking. Working with let's talk about my 2 things, Joe.
Okay,
This is what they call preamble. That's how actors in talk.
I
Anyway,
got two big things also.
here, well, just please, man, don't take away from the Greek spotlight. Here's the two things.
All right, go ahead.
Putting money in people's pockets. I love to do that. And the other thing I like to do, Double J, and as you know, I like to take care of the ladies. Ain't that right, Digit?
Now here, hold on. I could attest before he calls me up and says the Blue Jays are going to win 10-3. All right? They win 9-3. He calls me up and says everybody's saying the Maple Leafs are going to lose. I think it's going to be a 5-2 game. It was 4-3 Maple Leafs. All right? He calls me up and says the Atlanta Hawks are going to beat Miami, surprise Miami, 106-96. It was 106-97. This is why I picked up the hottest free agent. You could see him on the Fired Up Network with the borderline Hall of Famer, my good, close personal friend, family friend, but not family because he goes after my sister all the time. You go after Digit. He goes after my sister. Marty Roberts, I don't know who he goes after, all right? So that's it. But that's the Greek, Rumac and the Greek, Mondays here, and they had a special show yesterday, great footy talk and everything like that with Paul, right, right, Billy? Paul.
No, it's Sir Paul. Sir, apparently after the program, Sir Paul's been knighted out there in that part of the world for his appearance. Anyways, it was for a guy like me. And again, as much as I know, I'm also very cognizant of what I don't know. And again, when it comes to the football of the European variety, I'm not a proficionado or an expert, but there's obviously things that, believe it or not, ladies, that I don't know. You know, I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to wash the dishes. I don't know a lot of things. But here's what I'll tell you, that I really enjoyed him. He was a tremendous guest, great insight. And it's funny. And here's the thing that I found most fascinating in that interview, which you can catch if you go follow the Greek, that the investment and the relationship the fan base and the groups they set up have with the organization. Like, in other words, they gathered so many people and they have a say as to how Chelsea runs the organization, things to do with the field, and that for me is fascinating. Like, all fans, like, what better way to get fans involved, right, than give them a stake in the club? That's kind of like what the Packers do with their shares at Lambeau and stuff like that. But Chelsea takes it to another level, and I'm sure they're not the only football team in Europe that does that. And for me, I've never heard of that. I never heard of that. I never imagined that would be possible in a sporting landscape. But I was surprised, and again, it was great TV. And again, can it not be when I'm asking the questions?
Yeah, and by the way, for a guy who doesn't know a lot about footy or soccer, football, or whatever, good questions. It was good questions that you were actually better than Norm, because honestly, how do you a guy from Chelsea and not asking about the coaching change? But I digress. All right, we're here to talk about baseball, and then we'll talk a little bit of hockey here. Now, again, I don't know if you've seen it. Tampa Bay Rays winning again. 11-0. 11-0. These guys come in 2 days from now on Friday. They're going to come in to the Rogers Center, probably 13-0. Can they be defeated by the Blue Jays?
Would you, if the minute they come into the Rogers Center 13-0 and they face either not so much Mano, but Gosman, they're coming into the Rogers Center as
facing Gosman. They're going to face Barrios, Kikuchi, and the guy who pitched today.
All right. So here's what I'll tell you in terms of can attack him. Well, obviously, the Blue Jays can win. The Blue Jays with Mano are going to be a small favorite against Tampa Bay, even if they're 13-0. That's the way the world of sports works. That's the Las Vegas will tell you how realistic it is for a club to beat a club. Tampa Bay's not going to be favored. Tampa Bay might be favored in one of those three games, right? It might be a pick-em to a -120, but don't kid yourself. All right. Let's be frank about this. All credit to them. Nobody expected any club to come out 11-0. You played. If you couldn't have handpicked weaker competition for the first 10 games, let's be honest. If Tampa Bay had to decide who we wanted to play to start the season, you couldn't have picked a better opposition. You played the sad sacks of the Leafs, and that's the facts. But here's what I will say: if they go 500 the rest of the season, that's 88 wins, and that's close to what it takes to get a wild card. So again, fantastic start. But if you're looking for Tampa Bay to be one of these circa Detroit Tigers 1984 35-5 and run away with the division, now you got another thing coming. They'll come back to the pack, and they'll do so starting when they run into the big bad Blue Jays at the Rogers Center this coming weekend.
All right, so we talked about the Blue Jays winning their home opener.
Did you hear that, Carney? Smarten up, Carney. Smarten up, and don't be walking around with that swagger. I catch you on the Fired Up Network every now and then. You've been ducking me for a couple months now, 4 or 5 months. So maybe you'll come on. Maybe we'll get a chance to exchange pleasantries over the weekend.
I'm going to try my best to get you and Carney here, because I don't know if you know this. The Leafs and Tampa Bay have a playoff series. Yeah. So I'm going to try to get – and there's going to be some bets. Carney's hair versus your hair. A hair versus hair going – even Steve doesn't have hair left. But anyways, let's talk about the Jays here. What did you think? I know you've seen it on TV and all that. The renovations here, the renovations and everything like that. Oh, look who's showing up here. All right, wait a minute. Let's get to him. Billy, I'll give you the honors. We'll talk about the Blue Jays. I'll give you the honors to talk about his Pittsburgh Penguinos.
Well, again, it's nice to see you, Marty Roberts. I'm glad you found the intestinal fortitude to show up and then face the music.
Everyone was falling asleep listening to you two.
Yeah. All right, bring us along. Speaking of, hold on. Whoa. You're talking about falling asleep, and you're throwing cheap shots at the boy wonder that accurately predicted almost the score of both games. Okay, that was nothing. Okay, it was an accident. I don't know what I'm talking about. So we pushed you to sleep.
9-3. I think you're the guy that said just like 5 games ago that Jays.
Keep it down. What have you done for me lately, baby? You put us to sleep. If I'm putting you to sleep, talk about what your Penguins did to about 20,000 people. Talk about what your Penguins did to about 20,000 people in the igloo.
This is called the Blue Jay Strike Zone, not the Penguins hockey net.
Yeah, so we'll talk about
I spoke to Gil. I got Gil on the phone because he's going to put Billy on a training program so he can run his fat ass up here to Barrie once the Jays hit 95 wins.
All right, so Marty,
I'm a man of my word. I said it, and you know what? When I say something, as you know, I do it. I put my money, my feet, these big guys right here where my mouth is. So if the Blue Jays win, like I told you, I'll make the stroll, and you know what? I'll raise a little money for charity, get a little thing. Don't worry, man. I might hop in a cab for about 45 minutes, but that's besides the point. Go ahead. Do you guys remember Rosie Ruiz? Do you guys remember? You ever heard of a lady named Rosie Ruiz?
Was that the one with the Boston Marathon or
the New York City Marathon? So Ruiz comes out of nowhere, finishes the marathon in 2 hours. They put a crown on her. They give her the medal, right? She breaks all world records, and later they found footage. She hopped in a cab around Central Park, man. Unbelievable.
All right, Marty, I'll go with you here. What did you think of the home opener? First couple innings with Manoah down 3-0, and last week you guys were complaining, "Oh, where's the offense? Where's the offense? They're not hitting home runs." Well, bomb after bomb after bomb.
Who are you saying we? I never complained about it.
You did.
Hey, it's on video. It's on video. We'll go back.
Go back to the Fired Up Network, Fired Up Net, and check it out. But even Billy will back me up on this. But go ahead, Marty.
Well, you know what? Obviously, Manoah, first 2 out of his 3 starts, he's really struggled with his control. That's not like him. And then like Billy was saying earlier, throwing 90, 91, topping at 92 isn't going to get it done with that. And his slider tonight had no bite to it. It was just a big looping slider, which they could lay off of. So I still expect Manoah to find it at some point, but it's been a surprise that for 3 games he's thrown the way he has. Chapman, staying on fire, like another 420-foot bomb. Bo, Kiermaier, Springer. So the hitting's coming around. They've done some things. Belt even had 3 hits tonight, which, last week he was batting, 1 for 23. Now he's 3 for 4 at the Rogers Center. So you know what? They got lucky. It's Detroit. If it's anyone else, they might not be able to come back, but it's nice that they were able to come back.
I'll ask you this, Marty. Joe, let me get in here for a second. Marty, question for you. So if you're watching, obviously, Manoah's trajectory, hypothetically, is he closer, like after this and what you saw, is he closer long-term to being Ricky Romero or Roy Halladay or neither?
Yeah, you know,
Which is he closer to?
I was just saying this to my son. I wonder if his cockiness is catching up to him. I'm just wondering, because for the first, call it 2.5 years he's been in the big leagues, it's been thumping his chest and on the man. Now he's struggling a little bit. Does he know how to handle it? I don't know if he does. We'll find out if he can handle it. We'll find out. Like, that's 2 big games he's had this year that he hasn't had his A stuff. So is it maybe an injury and he doesn't want to say anything about it?
You're right. That's a possibility. When you see a guy 94, 95 and all of a sudden 90, 91, maybe he's hiding some. And obviously as being a former pitcher and immersed in the game, at 90, 91, you can't make mistakes. At 94, 95 up in the zone, instead of a 3-run homer, he might foul that one back, right? You can get away with a lot of stuff. But again, for me, the issue, and obviously the control issue, is a byproduct of the fact he doesn't trust his fastball, wants to spot the ball, and is unsure of himself. Now, the question again, you got to ask yourself, and we're not close enough. You'd figure if he was not healthy, they would put him on the shelf for a bit. Is it something that? I don't know, but I'd be concerned because I've seen the dip in velocity from when he first came up to now, and it's alarming when you go from 95. 91, 92, those 3 miles an hour is about 4 or 5 inches off the plate, and that's the difference between foul balls and 3-run homers.
Right, and Manoah might be hurt and he's not saying it, and the Jays don't know. Maybe he has a little tightness in his shoulder, but you're right. If he's the guy at the plate doesn't have to be scared of his fastball anymore if it's coming in at 90, 91. Like, they could just sit there. Okay, we'll just sit slider now and know that I can still catch up to his fastball, right? If he can start, even with 91, 92, if he can locate it better than he had, like 5 walks today isn't going to cut it. It's definitely not going to cut. If he can locate that fastball where it's supposed to be, he can live with 91, 92 miles out. But if he's going to not have that control.
Greg Maddux lived with 88, 89. Yeah, he can live with that. But it's hard to reinvent yourself as a guy that's a pinpoint power guy goes into his career. You're not gonna turn him into a pinpoint guy throwing 91, right, and be successful. I'm concerned. If I'm the Blue Jays, obviously I'm concerned, but only time will tell. Like
Billy, as you watched him, he didn't seem like he was fully engaged all the time. Like, I watched Kiermaier make that big catch in center field for him. He really had no reaction to it. Then he took a pitch count violation for ball 4, and he wasn't even close to being ready. Yeah. So is it also mentally with him that he's not zoned in right now for some reason or another? I don't know. Time will tell if it's something.
A bigger problem. If he is slightly injured, okay, he's your number 1 pitcher, even though Gosman's really number 1. But thank God Kikuchi's pitching okay. But Barrios, Bassett okay, but there's 2 out of your rotation there with Barrios. Come on, it's already, if he's going to
relax with Barrios. Relax. Here's why you're not as concerned. Obviously, this has been going on a year and a half. But with Barrios, as in Manoah, here's what it is, fellas. And when you find it, hopefully he finds it because he has a pedigree. Let's be honest. It's not chopped liver. This is a guy that's been owning his craft for almost a decade. Here's the problem with Barrios and to a lesser extent Manoah, and that's confidence, man. Kikuchi the same, and that's confidence. It's hard to get, but it's so easy to lose. And when you lose it, Marty, you've been there. You lose that confidence, man. It's hard to get it back, dude. It's hard to get it back in the IPL at Christie pitch, man. It's not. I'm sure it's 10 times harder to get it back on a major league mound, right? And that's all you got because Barrios' looking ball's still tight. The fastball's got plenty of zip, 95, 96, 97. The stuff is there. Same with Kikuchi. The stuff is above average on both guys if you go across the board. But the issue is, again, location, confidence, and putting the ball in the right spots. And neither of them are reliable.
All right, hold on, Billy.
You're definitely right with Barrios, Billy. Barrios is definitely not. If you watch him, as soon as someone gets on base, his shoulders go down, and he's not as confident that he's going to get out of this. And can they make him think any differently? I don't know if they can. He did the same thing last year. He was good for like 3 innings the other night, then he just fell apart.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. You know what? And unfortunately, Atkins and Shapiro don't have my number. You let me sit and walk with Barrios down the, let the Greek light a cigarette, walk with Barrios down the right field line, right? Just a little conversation, 10, 12 minutes. I guarantee you that guy comes and pitches 6 shutout innings. But again, I might sound ridiculous right now, and people will say, who is this jerk off that thinks he can change Barrios? Meanwhile, this guy can't change. He can't change his underwear, but he thinks he's going to. Yeah, I can do it because I'm gifted like that, baby. So Atkins, Shapiro, if you're on here, you want to resurrect this guy? I don't know. Give me a call, man. I'll prove it to you. Go ahead, Joe.
Relax. Take a back seat because I got breaking news for you. Digit Murphy's watching. Digit Murphy's watching you, the Greek. Do you have anything to say to Digit Murphy?
I told Digit right off the hop. Right on. I don't know, Digit, if you were watching that. Let me rewind the tape for you and kind of give you kind of an introduction into a little Greek town. Oh, shut up, Joe. Keep it down, man. I'm trying to pull a heavy here. Digit, there's 2 things I like to do. 2 things that bring me great joy, as I told the fans earlier on the Fired Up Network. Look at this handsome individual. Looks slim and trim, 180 pounds, just turned 40. There's 2 things I like to do. Put money in your pocket, because when it comes to sports, nobody knows the world of sports better than me. And also, Digit, I like to take care of the ladies.
All right. On that note, Marty, Billy, do you pay when you go out with the ladies? Do you pay for anything?
Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes when the odd trip to McDonald's, when the Greek wants to take it easy, man, he'll spring for $12 for a. But I don't like to go supersize with the fries and the big combos. Like the junior nugget meal, man, is enough because I don't want my eating too much. So, so 4 nuggets and a small fry. Four nuggets. That's the limit.
Okay,
4 nuggets.
I want to talk about Kiermaier here. This guy's been on that tear. I asked Billy, but the catch, again, it's the first night at the Rogers Center, catching, hitting, having got 5 RBIs the other game before. And you said, me and Billy said, and you were on with Steve Carney, all right? And Steve says, this is a big, big pickup for the Jays. You were like, now what do you have to say?
11 games in. Like I said, when Steve, you know what? If Kiermaier can stay healthy, we're 11 games in. Does he stay healthy? We'll see. He's doing what he's supposed to do. And the good thing is that he does not mind being the 9th guy on that roster. He does not mind it. And that's what you want. You don't want some guy that thinks he's the main guy. He knows he's batting 9. He's supposed to get on base. And his main goal is to make plays in the outfield, which he's doing. And I never complained about Kiermaier's the best defensive outfielder years past. He's found it again. We'll see if the hitting keeps up. But for him to know that his job is just get on base, he's not going to worry about hitting the home runs out. He's just going to stack the deck and get on for Springers, Bichette, and Vlad.
Billy, you're the manager of the East York team there. I said, why don't you have your East York hat? And Marty, what hat are you wearing?
Durham College with my Durham College t-shirt.
Hold on. Stand up.
I can't stand up. I can't stand up.
All right.
Because I don't have my Durham College underwear on.
We didn't need to know this. And especially if Digit Murphy's watching, all right? So there you go. Billy, let's go to what other surprises so far, 10 games into Major League Baseball, has caught your fancy?
Really, I go to bed quite early. Like I work these days, so I don't watch a lot of baseball. What's caught my fancy? Nothing really. There's only a couple of stories really worth discussing. And here's one of them that really, frankly, caught my attention. I was wondering what it would be like today, right? Instead of Toronto, instead of half decent city here, except Scarborough, that piece of crap, man. But Toronto, imagine you lived and you were a baseball fan in either Kansas City, Detroit. Like, you're 1 week into the season, man. And in Detroit, it's like, how the hell, you tell me if you're a Tigers fan or a Royals fan, why in the blue hell would you pay 50, 80, 60 bucks to go to a baseball game in Kansas City? Yeah, sure, you love the game, man. But it's gotta suck to be in a market where you got like to the season a zero chance to win anything. And I'd hate to be a GM or an owner in either of those two markets.
Marty, any comments you want to say?
No, with Oakland, I'm wondering. It's just a matter of time before they move out of Oakland. It's just, are they going to Las Vegas? Probably. That's probably where they end up, in Las Vegas. Does Montreal deserve to probably get a team back? Yeah, they probably do. But Las Vegas is first in line there. There's no question about it. Oakland's getting I watched Moneyball the other day, and I'm sitting there watching the live game and then watching Moneyball. I'm like, nothing's changed since Moneyball with the Oakland A's. Nothing. The same people run it, and the results are the exact same. They're not getting anyone in the park. So how about you change something up to bring the fans in? Like, look over the years how many guys they've lost that were actually pretty close to being stars in this league that they just let go, or they traded them.
Hold on. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But just that park alone, like, you can bring in whoever you want, but you can't generate any revenue in that park, right? There's no way you're gonna invest in money in Oakland, in the Alameda Coliseum, and try to make it more fan friendly. It's just a terrible environment without a new stadium. But
when they were winning, Billy, with the Mark McGuire's, the Canseco's, the Carney Lansfords, and Dave Stewart's, they were full. They had full stadium. So if they could put the product out there, even during Moneyball, when you watch Moneyball, the crowds were pretty good then. So if they put a winner
but the crowd's not the only factor, Marty. The crowd wouldn't be the only factor. Obviously, you can draw better. It goes without saying, you bring in some name guys, you can draw better. But when you're talking about the A's, you're also talking about high attendance when the highest salary was the Blue Jays at $48-49 million. That's a far cry from the 200 plus it's required to put on the field now for a different club. And obviously, they can't generate that revenue. They can't sell a hot dog in there. You don't want to go watch a game in that place. It's cold as hell in the nighttime early on. Like, it's frankly one of the worst places, ballparks in North America, right? And it's high time these guys, if you're not building a new stadium, you got to move. Enough about this. It's been going on for over a decade now. Same with Tampa Bay. Just get out of there and move somewhere where at least you can get a fan base and appreciate you. You got Tampa Bay 11-0, and I'd be surprised. I don't know what the attendance was, Joe. Maybe you can draw it up from Boston. But if it's over 30,000, I'll walk to the store naked.
13,000. All right. By the way, when we spoke, Marty and me spoke to Steve. Steve said it looks like Vegas will get Oakland, and Nashville is getting a team before Montreal and all that. Nashville is getting a team, and we got somebody from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Bienvenido here at FiredUp Network. And can you say something in Spanish, Billy, or what? You know,
¿Qué pasa, amigo? ¿Qué pasa, amigo?
All right, and Marty, come on. At least
now here's the thing. Here's the thing, Joe. Are they going to give Nashville a team, as in a team that's going to move there, or an expansion team? I would expect that it's an expansion team that goes to Nashville. That's what I would expect. Las Vegas, I could see Oakland going there, but I think Nashville would be. And would they put two teams in, Montreal and Nashville?
Well,
first of all, again, Nashville really. Are we tired of again, maybe it's Nashville. I guess, Nashville could be count for baseball. It's a minor league town. I don't know how they got a hockey franchise and what have you. But nonetheless, I'm not really a big fan of Nashville. Their uniforms, tennis, that whole environment. But whatever. Okay, fine. Take a team. I'd rather have it, obviously, in Montreal, to be honest with you. Their franchise, if you're taking a look at a fan base across, these guys were hijacked Montreal, man. Baseball hasn't treated any fan base worse. Right when you had a good team, you went on strike, you pulled the team. Montreal needs to get another crack at having a baseball club before too long. Before they need it, they just need a little bit of corporate money over there to make sure to secure the financial stability of the franchise.
All right, so Marty, same question to you. Anything strike you for the first 10 games, 11 games in the season?
A couple things. First, we'll go with Mr. Chapman, how he's hitting.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable. You saw Scott Boras, his agent, the other day, sitting right behind home plate. He must just be rubbing his hands, because if Chapman can keep anywhere near this, he's the number one free agent for third baseman going on the market because of Machado signing already. So now you got Chapman as the main guy. He's going to command a lot of money. And the other one that sort of is I guess, surprising a little bit to me is how St. Louis Cardinals have come out of the gate. You know, you got the coach there calling out O'Neill for his hustle instead of keeping it in the change room. And ever since then, the Cardinals have not shown up to a game completely. So I wonder if they're sending a message to the coach saying, why did you call it O'Neill in the media instead of talking to him behind closed doors? That's probably the biggest surprise for me in baseball is how the Cardinals will start 2-6 right now.
And by the way, for Luis Ariz for Miami today, hit for the cycle. Miami beating Philadelphia 8-4. And
Here's something, Joe. There was a kid at University of Indianapolis the other day that threw a perfect game, or was it a no-hitter? And hit for the cycle.
Yeah.
That is unheard of. Like, to do that in one game is crazy.
San Diego winning again.
What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about, dude? For me, that was every second Sunday playing Burby.
Why not every Sunday? Why every second Sunday?
I don't know, man. I must have hit. I'm talking about St. Aloysius, and if anybody's ever driven by there, man, that's a big yard. At least straightaway center, big house out there. I might have hit, I don't know off the top of my head, 20, 25 out in a day. So I don't know about this kid. Perfect game, but big deal, man. He does, man. Blast 20 out of St. Alex, man, and then come talk to me. Go ahead, Joe.
All right, so let's turn our attention because we also have to talk about the Maple Leafs and Marty's favorite team, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Watch Marty's Rogers go out now. So Billy, since you're the prize free agent that we picked up with the broadcasting legend Norm Rumack every Monday here on the Fired Up Network, Rumack and the Greek, go ask Marty your question about Pittsburgh.
The question would be at this point in time, obviously, we can poke a little fun at it, but again, you're poking fun at an organization that's got multiple Stanley Cup winners and one of the best 10, 15-year runs in the history of the league. So let's be honest, we're talking about Crosby now. But at this point in time, if you're Pittsburgh, right, do you consider you missed the playoffs and things are not going to get any better. You don't got draft picks. You don't got much. Do you consider moving in the offseason, moving Crosby, moving Malkin, and just kind of like start and letting Crosby play the back half of his career in another market?
I don't think Crosby. I think I could see Malkin being that guy that they look, because I think he's only got 2 years left on his deal. Crosby is just, it's like Mario. He's not leaving Pittsburgh. Crosby's not leaving Pittsburgh. I would say Letang, but Letang signed, a 6-year deal or whatever it was. Yeah. So he's going nowhere. The other thing is the Penguins, Jury's a free agent. Now, Jury isn't, an elite goalie, but he's a good goalie. So now they have to go and find a goalie. And what was concerning tonight for me was you got Gensel in a big game that didn't show up. He looked lost out there today.
Who is that, Gensel?
Crosby had 8 shots trying to set Gensel up, and Gensel just did not show up. He had 1 shot in the game. You're not going to win with Gensel, Rust, and Zucker do nothing.
Well, Pittsburgh's got 1 game left, and
they got. I think the Islanders play Montreal, do they not?
Yeah, tomorrow.
So, you got to hope Montreal pulls Chicago against what they did against Pittsburgh. They hope Montreal does that to the Islanders in order to have a shot. Because Pittsburgh plays Columbus in their last game, I think it's done. I thought it was done, a few weeks ago, but they hung in there. We'll see. I guess stranger things have happened, but my TV almost got ripped off the wall.
Is that
so you actually are a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, like through and through. You're actually not an imposter and a bandwagon. I'm
not like Joe when we go to Leafs talk. Joe's a Leafs guy when they win, but he's not when they lose.
No, listen. At least I speak. Unlike Billy's tag team partner.
I want to know about the Leafs game tonight. Did Luke Schenn get the assist for the Gordie Howe hat trick?
Luke Schenn, I believe, got an assist. Yes.
He had a goal, did he not?
Yeah, he had the goal.
He had a fight.
Yeah, he had a fight.
Did he have the assist?
And hold on, let me ask you a question. Joseph Wall playing. I'll start off with you, Marty. Okay, going into Tampa, knowing that they rest a lot of people, and this is a first-round playoff series. Next week they're battling for. Are you surprised that the Leafs actually won?
Yeah, I was. I really was. I thought,
Wall's sure
winning at the back-to-back. Marner sitting out as well. So I thought Tampa would have won this, but you know what? Hey, they showed up. Wall played pretty good. I don't know if it was me or not. Did Samsonov yesterday look a little He played really good, but did he look sore?
He looks tired.
Yeah, he looked some like.
Sure, man. That guy got 50 shots on goal playing a hockey game. What do you want that guy? Like a Sprite chicken? He's in Florida. Who knows what he was doing the night before? It's 100 degrees there, man. He looked tired. What are you guys, doctors? What are you guys, man? MacGyver's like Doogie Howser. He looked tired. Are you guys insane? Man, you guys want to drive the people crazy? Lose all the viewership that I've built, that I've spent a lifetime creating. Tired. Jesus to Murphy.
I hope that the Leafs don't.
By these two Alabamians.
We're edgewise. Hold on.
Can we go back to the video of Billy and Joe Tilley? Billy and Joe Tilley back in the day when Billy hated the Leafs. Can we go find those videos so we can see the big turnaround that Billy's now a Dubas fan, a Leaf fan, and he owns shares in the MLSE?
39th goal.
No. Here's what you do. You don't create a position. You create the position you believe in, but you come off it when you see differently. So for me, first of all, for William Nylander, I don't care who you are, but you got to give the devil his due. He's played a lot better this year than he has in the past in an overall game, number one. Number two, Kyle Dubas, 5 years later, the issues that I was clamoring about when I hated him. When I hated him, what was I looking? A guy like Ryan O'Reilly, some guys like Lafferty in the bottom six forwards to play a role to make.
But he did that in the last couple of years.
Man, so how can I hate the guy?
All right, hold on, Marty. Go ahead.
He did that last year and it didn't work. He went out and got, Foligno. He got Bogosian's on there. He's got Brody on there. He's got Giordano. He did that last year. It didn't work. So now, will it work in the playoffs this year? We'll see.
Hold on. This year, when we're talking about last year, and obviously with Foligno and injury, he made the attempt. So he knew what was missing. He made an attempt to supplement the roster last year because he finally realized that he can't win in a run and gun game. He made the attempt. It was unsuccessful. I believe he's made the attempt better this year. And frankly, in the last 6 years, we've been watching Leaf hockey and all the playoff misery. They haven't brought a better, more complete team into the dance than this year's edition. Does that mean they're going to win anything? I don't know. But they haven't brought a more complete, well-rounded team in terms of grit, in terms of the back end. But the only question is they've left themselves exposed. Trying to win 16 games was, I don't know. If I was Dubas, I might have considered working from the goalie out in terms of how I wanted to put all my chips in the middle this year instead of rolling the dice with a guy like Samsonov to win me 16 games. But again, what do I know? Except pretty much everything.
All right. Pretty much everything. So
I don't know.
I actually think the Maple Leafs are going to beat Tampa. And if the Maple Leafs are going to have a long run, they got to beat them before 7 games. Before 7 games.
Yeah.
They got, if they're going to have a long, because, Boston is good. I'm saying Boston's going to win the first round series, okay? Boston's going to come out physically. The Maple Leafs cannot take Boston physically if they go 7 games with Tampa.
Joe, hold on. No. I thought you were making, but you got it wrong because you're absolutely. No, you're right. If they go 7 games, here's what happens. The ghosts are going to come out again in their minds. That's what's going to happen. Forget about the tiredness of the club. That comes secondary to the ghosts tightening the sticks. Here we go again. You fall down 1-0 in a game 7 against Tampa Bay. All of a sudden, they put that neutral zone trap. You're skating in mud, and they go, here we go again. So the only way Toronto wins that series is if they win it in 5 games, and they just steam. I'm telling you from now, watch and listen to me. Whoever wins game 2 of that series, mark my words, will win that series. Because if it's Toronto that wins game 2, it's going to be Toronto in 5. If it's Tampa Bay that wins game 2, it's going to be Tampa in 7. Mark my words. Game 2, mark it down. I'm telling you.
All right, Marty, let's talk about out of nowhere, they're in first place again. The reigning, defending Stanley Cup champions. And although they got a big scare now with Makar, but what do you expect of Colorado?
Yeah, all year they've had injuries, that team. Right, all year. Landon Scott hasn't played. Is he going to be ready for the playoffs? Makar, they say he's going to be ready for the playoffs. Is he? Are they just resting him? Colorado's again has a shot if their team is healthy. Like Manson's been out. McCarr, Landon Scott. So they've had some injuries there. So if those guys are healthy, I wouldn't want to face Colorado at all in the playoffs. Yes, their goaltending's a little shaky, but with what they have in front, they'd be awfully tough to beat if they're healthy.
Yeah, what do you say, Billy?
My club I'll tell you how the West looks. That my club to come out of the West is Calgary, and they're not even in the playoffs. So,
Edmonton,
so if that's the case,
I want to ask you, Billy, before you answer this. Seeing you brought up Calgary, I want to ask you something, Billy. So watching the game yesterday, Calgary needs to win this game to stay in. And they go to the shootout, and who does he put in the shootout? Richie. And I think it was Backstrom. Is that who it was that was next? And he left Lindholm and Toffoli not in the shootout. What would be going through his thinking to have Richie go in a game you must win? Is he just saying, screw it, I'm done here? Or did he really think Richie was going to fool one of the best goalies in the NHL?
Hey, first of all, when Richie took the shot, they were up 1, right? So they were up 1.
Nashville had to be decided anyways before it, right? It had to be decided. You can't just put them in the 3 or in before.
Yeah, absolutely. Fair enough. So what that is a hunch, man. It's just a hunch by a old school guy. Maybe rewarding somebody for something we don't see as fans, like some behind the scenes. You know what, Marty? Frankly, who knows? Could he have just said that, you know what, screw you guys, I'm going to put the biggest meathead on the ice in the biggest moment of the season? I don't know. I'd be surprised if the Sutter era in Calgary hasn't come to an end. And frankly, again, if Calgary would have got the 8th spot, they've got a 35 to 40% chance to beat Colorado in a 7-game series, in my estimation.
All right, Billy, we brought in Justin Levine.
It's Justin Laverne. Get that
Laverne.
straight. It's Justin Laverne, Billy calls him.
All right, Billy calls him Justin Laverne. He has requested to be on with Billy here. As Justin
I don't know why anyone would.
May not know, I'm bringing Billy and Norm back on Mondays for their show, Rumac and the Greek. Say hello to Billy. Is his hair out of place? Did he get more white hair? Go ahead, Justin.
Billy, good to see you. Marty, good to catch up as always.
Justin,
what am I?
Hold on.
Joseph, thanks for having me.
Hold on, man. Let the get a word in, Laverne. Hold on a second. Let me ask you something. Let me talk to the kid, man. Let the two young guns have a conversation. A minute, man. You phonies. Keep it down. Laverne. I'm curious to know. First of all, Mario, don't screw around with me, Double J.
Marty, go ahead.
Audio sounds good here.
All right. First of all, kudos to you and congratulations on all the stuff you did. I hadn't had a chance to talk to you. Just to see you with that passion and be involved in something, no matter what it is, and end up the best of the best in whatever you do and have a small part in it. Congratulations. But more importantly, the fans want to know, what are you doing with your eyebrows, man? Those look straight and precise. Are you all of the Greek, man, doing some kind of treatments with those?
You know, I might be, but I might not be. I
guaranteed that I can tell a thread job anywhere, even through this TV, man. You're threading your eyebrows, kid. Don't lie to the Greek, man. You know that kind of stuff. Good for you.
All right,
Justin,
Justin,
good to see you.
You were
funny how?
You're a big Blue Jay fan, and let's go over quickly your thoughts of the home opener with the Detroit Tigers, and your thoughts. It looks like the season, and one more game for Montreal. Your thoughts about the Montreal Canadiens season? Go ahead.
Let's start there. The Montreal Canadiens season has been nothing but, for the most part, garbage. They put a bad team on the ice. I think they all knew that this was going to be what they called a developmental year. But what I don't think they knew was how bad it was going to be. And rebuilding is not easy when you've got a team that, quite frankly, hasn't come together again, doesn't have a captain. And they've just, I think, lost all sense of what the word team means. And they just have had a really bad year. And let's just say Ken Hughes and Jeff Gordon have a lot of work to do this offseason. As far as the Blue Jays,
don't worry, it can't be any worse than what's going on at Durham College, from what I hear.
You know what? Montreal's had it bad, so I wouldn't be surprised if Durham College was even a little bit better.
At least in the coach department.
All right. So Justin, I know you're attending. I think this week or Sunday, the Toronto Six are all attending. Who's throwing out the first pitch at the Blue Jay game of the Toronto Six?
I honestly don't even know if it's been selected yet. So even I don't really know the answer to that. But whoever it is, it's going to hopefully be a strike. I would like to see Carly Jackson do it. So that's
You want it to be a strike? Put Taylor Woods in there. Now look, I got news. I'm doing this for Billy here. All right, Justin, you're a very close personal friend of Digit Murphy. Okay, Digit Murphy has a thing for the Greek. Okay, so the Greek wants her to
Just
call.
hold on, whoa. We're just friends. Nothing more, nothing less. Just friends. That's it. The Double J spreading any rumors about me and Digit.
All right, you've been working with Digit a couple years already. Okay, is Billy the right type of man for Digit?
from a business sense, I feel like some really good, sensible conversation can come out of that. So you've got my vote there.
From a business sense,
He let you down easy there, Billy.
Is he a corporate chief?
Hold on. Why do you guys jump the gun? First of all, I'm the superior intellect to any of you guys here, that's for sure. And I've heard Digit talk. She's she's a philosophical piece of work herself. So maybe the two of us, we could get together, kind of be able to create, Joe, what I refer to Greek as a little, I don't want to say it, just a little, I don't know, just we're going to be friends, that's all. Digit. Call me. Go ahead,
Right,
Joe.
here it is. Here it is. Playoffs start next week. All right. We're going to have Taylor Woods here, but we're going to have the first annual thumb war between Taylor Woods and the Greek. The first annual refereed by Justin. Justin, do you know how to referee a thumb war?
I've got the basic idea, so this should be interesting.
No. Greek. Tell him how you referee a thumb war. Justin is the Dave Hebner.
You gotta put your Danny Davis shirt away, and you just gotta. I know you're biased to the Six, to Woods. Like I want to call it down the middle, man. I give you a death watch, man. Call it down the middle. That's all I'm asking.
All right. What have you been doing, Billy, to prepare for the thumb war with Arnold Schwarzenegger champion?
When I was a born thumb wrestler. Guys like me, prodigies, don't have to prepare. Like, I'll get out of bed, man. Get out and I'm pissing and I don't hear nothing. Like, when you're pissing, you got to make an adjustment when you're not hearing nothing in the toilet. I get out of bed, take a leak, and you know what? With eyes, and then I'll just put my thumb there. I'll tell Wood come over at it, and I'll get the W all night long, man. And that's just the way it is, unfortunately. Maybe she can lift me over. When it comes to that right here, better than the chip. Nobody in town. I'm undefeated, Joe. Those are the facts.
Justin, I don't know if you know this, but we got a special. The winner. Look at Marty. The winner of the thumb war gets euros. All right,
Wait. Since we got Justin here, where's my T-shirt?
Yeah, right. That was.
Where's my T-shirt, Justin?
I saw that coming. You know what? I have one behind me. So you know what? Next time I see you, come out to a T6 game back in September, and I might.
Oh, you're gonna wait
September?
Make him wait? Come on. How many of those shirts do you have?
Or meet me at the ballpark, and I can hand it to you then.
Why don't you just pay $3 and FedEx to the poor bastard, man? What? The Six ain't paying you enough money? The Six ain't paying you enough money to send a parcel to Newmarket?
Well, if someone convinced Joseph to give me more than zeros, maybe.
Good luck with that.
Hold on, Justin. Billy took all the money here because he was a prize free agent. I was told by Marty Roberts to give him and all that, to help him out and everything like that. All right. So I helped him out and everything like that. But Justin, all right, are you ready for the playoffs? I'm going to start with Justin here. All right. Next week starts the playoffs. Right now, give me your Stanley Cup final right now.
Carolina and
Hartford.
No. Well, they don't exist, so there you go. Part of me thinks actually, no, never mind. Okay, Carolina and Pittsburgh.
They can't even play. They're in the same
Sorry,
conference. And Pittsburgh's not making the playoffs. Billy,
Oh,
one more with
oh, we've set hold on the live on the fire to a new low, ladies and gentlemen. We're not responsible for the content. Oh.
Give me a second. Do my studies here. Give me a second.
I have better luck with Digit and Billy going out. We're going to have Marty Roberts,
You know what?
and everything. Come on.
You know what? Let me fix that up. It's going to be Boston and Carolina.
They
That's
can't
all
even
I'm
meet in the Stanley Cup, and they're in the same conference. Oh my God.
Oh, sorry. Am I looking at this by stand? No, they're not. They're not in the same conference.
Oh my gosh.
They can't meet in the Stanley Cup though.
They're in the same
Oh,
conference.
Lord.
All right,
First of all, hey, hold on, man. The kid's just joking around with you. Obviously knows. Stop pulling their leg, man. Stop playing games with him. Obviously, the kid knows Joe.
Hey,
Smart.
listen.
Can't you see he's playing games with you? Obviously what he's trying to say. And I'm going to step in for you, kid. Don't worry, I got you. That's what it does. I'm a team player. What's going to happen, Doug? First of all, let's eliminate some clubs first, Marty. Shall we eliminate? Who can't win? Let's start there.
Montreal and Columbus.
Let's eliminate. Marty, smart enough. Don't be a wise guy when the Greek is trying to educate the millions and millions on the Fired Up Radio and Television Network. Don't be a wise guy.
Billy, I'm glad I came on because you came to life once I came on here.
Hold on.
Actually,
Hold on.
Right
away, you know what we're going to do? We're gonna take the President's Cup trophy winners to the side. You can't win, Boston. The team that dominates is going to go through a season win a cup. So Boston's not coming out of these, right? Okay. So we got New Jersey versus the Rangers. Let's go around the table. Who do we like there?
The Rangers.
The Rangers. I think that's inevitable when you look at the players they have.
Rangers, I would say.
Joe?
They picked the Rangers. I'm going with New Jersey.
You know what? And therein lies my point. The Stanley Cup representative out of the Eastern Conference is going to be one of three clubs. I haven't numbered it down yet. I'm not ready. It's going to be the blue and of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Devils, or Rangers, and I'm leading to conference final of Rangers Toronto. That's the obvious honor, and I look for maybe Las Vegas and the Western final. What else do you want? Hold on.
I like your confidence out Toronto, but again, Toronto has been a touchy subject, and just because they look good now doesn't mean they're going to look good.
Hold on, little guy. Let me get a word in here. Don't jump that gun here. You're talking to a legend. Hold on. Let me tell you something. First of all, I do previews every day. You know, a lot of people hire me for my knowledge, my wisdom, my good looks, my wittiness. So I deliver as usual. So here's what I said today. The Leafs are going to win in Tampa Bay 5-2, and I predicted the Blue Jays would win 10-3. So this guy over here knows what he's talking about.
11-3. Hey, 11-3. Don't say.
Well, that doesn't matter. Semantics doesn't matter. Here's what I'm telling you.
11-3.
Jesus, can I get a word in this program, man, or do what I got to do? Here's Joe. Control these guys. You bring me on, and they terrorize me.
All right. I'll control. Greek, take a break here.
All right, hold on. And do you guys agree or disagree? One salient point. You know what that word means, Joe? It's very important.
Yeah.
It's salient. Tampa Bay, can we all agree, has never come into the playoffs more vulnerable over the last 7 years. True or false?
True.
Have the Leafs ever, over the last 7 years, come into a playoff series stronger from a roster, person, and over the play in the last 7? True or false?
Honestly,
wasn't at least a better club, a better playoff rendition club from what we've seen here with some of the additions. Schenner in the back, couple of guys have brought a more complete team to the dance.
Last minute in the game.
No, they haven't.
No. So then what does that tell you, boys? It tells you the Leafs are ready to fly and Tampa's ready to die. The run's over. Don't be surprised if that's a sweep, man. If these guys keep pissing you off, I might quit, man. I might walk off the set like
Is that all it takes? Wait, I'm gonna keep on you then,
like
Billy.
A producer? Come on. All right.
No.
Billy,
remember Jim Everett with Rome?
Are you in a hotel room, Billy?
Yeah.
Remember that? Marty, another one for you. Do you remember one of the classics? And I know Marty loves brawls. Do you remember Panella versus Dibble in the dugout, in the locker room, in the clubhouse?
Yeah, in the locker room. Yep, in the locker room. Yep.
That's a classic.
That could happen. That could happen at Stan Walla with Billy and a player.
All right,
or two.
hold on, Billy. I got to do some housekeeping. You're going to help me here, all right? Your picks were, and he's right, Marty. He almost banged on. But who are they brought to you by? The picks.
Who cares right now? It's all about me, man. I give these guys enough pledges as it is, and they pay me like a migrant worker, man. Enough's enough. The Greek wants a raise, man. He's right on the money. I'm not talking about sponsors no more until they put more 20s in my pocket. I'm not happy right now. I'm not a happy capper. Carpets for life, guy, man. Of course, come on. Little
By the way, Justin, do you need more carpet in your room there, or what?
No, we're really all set here.
So,
how about some hardwood?
Some
vinyl.
You don't want carpet, Marty. Justin, you don't like carpet.
I'm more of a hardwood guy. I'm with Marty on that.
Yeah, hardwood. All right. So we'll go around because we're going to close that down here. Marty, I'll start with you here. Anything else in the sporting world that you want to touch on right now?
No. Nothing.
Right,
well, you know what? You got, and I'm not going to watch the game, but I want to find out what Billy thinks of Raptors Bulls in the playing game.
It's got to be at this point in time. I know what the plan was to get more teams involved, fan bases, but this has to be the most anticlimactic game that I've ever felt. Like, you know, when you get some anticipation as a fan, and I feel absolutely nothing towards this game. I have no intention of watching, no hope that they can come beat Miami and then go to play Milwaukee. And frankly, let me explain why, if you don't mind. Just a minute. I've been a basketball fan since 1985. I don't want to go into detail. I say that. I don't want to name the whole Sixer roster, Sedale, 3, Clement Johnson, you name it, up and down. I've never been more disgusted in the NBA than I have been this year. I might never watch it again. Let me tell you why. The Dallas Mavericks, goddammit, are one game out of a playoff, right? It's Slovenian night in Dallas. And what does Cupid and his other guy do? They rest all their players. They sit everybody. Luka plays 8 minutes, man. And you're fighting for your playoff lives, and that's how the management treats the players and in essence throws a game. If they're not fine, you strip Sterling for his franchise because he was a racist. Okay, fine. You got the other guy out of Phoenix. Great. How about this clown over here that basically threw a season, threw a game, and he threw it in the garbage because he wants a draft pick, man? You're telling me that clown deserves a franchise? Give me a break. NBA is running, NBA is corrupt, and NBA's got absolutely no room for a man of my integrity. And
NBA, they announced last week that they did the collective bargaining, and they're going to have in-season tournaments. Greek, you want to start us off with that one?
Here, if you guys watch the NBA, here's what happens, and this is going on in a lot of sports. Obviously, the NBA, the games are not in the 130s and 140s by accident, Marty. You know what they are? Collectors that don't play defense. Because you want to sign a contract, you look a lot better when you're putting up 21-8, 22-9. So this is no defense, score fast, pad your stats, and get paid. Get in, get out, rest, and then, I don't know, give me half-ass effort for a playoff run. It's so corrupt. It's so many levels to watch these gajillions of dollars and taking rest days for this, rest days for that. And if you're going to have a rest day when your season's on the line, then what's the point? Whole league, man. I'm a WNBA, and I don't like women either who play sports, but we'll leave that in a different conversation. Go
right, so this is Marty.
Push me off. Let me get up with Murphy on the Fired Up Network.
Marty, you know what that was? His plea to Drew Ebanks to do on-point basketball, all right? That was his plea to do on-point basketball with Drew Ebanks, and I'm going to get Anthony K with the Greek. The two Greeks are going to have something special here. Marty, we have actually somebody making a comment that said, Marty has struck it up rich. Look at where he's at. It's a new place. He's got a new home and everything in Barrie. That must be the best looking home in Barrie.
I had to move rooms. I'm down in the family room.
The family room.
I got booted out. My daughter's
Let me tell you,
studying,
this
so
guy
I got
is,
booted out.
whoever this guy is, it's asking questions. Nah, here's the truth about Marty Roberts. You want the skinny? I'll get you, man, because I'm in the mood to be honest. Marty Roberts, if you look about Roberts' resume, this guy's got a bucket full of pennies. You know those pennies that are rolled, that are obsolete now? Marty's got his first nickel, man. When I don't know, when selling newspapers and this and that, Marty saved every penny he's ever made, and God bless him. Look at him now. He's living in the political estates. He's got security. He's got everything, and he's a sportscaster, man. The whole time, Marty. You know what you should be instead of a baseball coach? You should teach in economics. You should be a high school teacher in economics, man. All you got to do is spend $1 in your life until you're 50. You can take the easy way out at that time. Go golf 5 days a week and take 5 days a week from the TTC and get a cricket stuff.
All right, enough. All right. First of all, if anybody has security, it's you. Monday nights, you have a security with you. All right. So, Marty, that's all you want to say for us.
Well, I also want to say, a kid I know, Luke Richardson. Justin knows him too. He signed his a professional contract in ECHL with the Greenville Swamp Rabbits, and he got his first professional win the other night versus Orlando. So, congrats to Luke, and he'll finish out the year with the Swamp Rabbits.
All right, Justin, any other thing in sports that you want to touch on?
Yeah, the Team Czechia, led by Canadian and Carla McLeod, won their game today at the Women's World Championships, defeating Switzerland. They will play Finland in the next round of the Women's World Championships in the semifinals, which begins Thursday at the CAA Center in Brampton. That team consists of Dominika Laskova and Teresa Venesova, the Isabel Cup Championship goal scorer for the Toronto Six. So that was really neat. In Canada with the 4-3 shootout win last night, thanks to Jamie Lee Rattray in round 9. So that was really neat. Some really good action coming out of Brampton. So if you're able to attend the Women's World Championships and fill the stands, make sure you do so. Some really good hockey still going on. And it's such a great way to enter spring and end what has been an excellent competitive hockey year, both on the national stage and throughout the professional leagues, including the PHF.
All right, and we've done so well tonight, Tuesday, that I'm inviting Marty Roberts, Justin Levine, back Thursday for the Fired Up Network flagship show, Fired Up Live.
Hold on. Let me ask you something. Hold on, Joe. Hold on. Let me ask Laverne. So this big hockey derby tomorrow, what's the line on the Do you like anything on the game? What's the line on the game? Who's the favorite? Where's the money going? Are there?
Laverne, wake up!
Hey, you need a winner. You got a winner?
Sorry,
in this Chechnya game, this derby.
I just realized you were. Sorry, I thought you were talking about
his name is Laverne. That's what he realized.
That's why I'm so confused. But anyway,
who's gonna win the game, Justin? Where's the money? Where's the money going tomorrow?
That's you know what? It's actually on Thursday, and I have to look at the matchups. Give me one sec.
All right, shoot me a text, and I need a winner.
Here's something about that World Championship.
Here it is.
Hold on, let the king talk.
Canada wins. Canada and Sweden. Canada's winning.
What's the line on the game, though?
A goal.
Oh, it's got to be more than a goal.
It's 1.5 for Canada. 1.5.
It's going to be more like a 7-2 game, I think.
I think it's at least a 3.5 goal spread for that.
In other words, it's Marty's favorite. It's a 1-9 shot.
Yeah, 1-9. That's how I can make it home every day on my tank of gas.
You've also got the U.S. and Germany, followed by Czechia and Finland, and lastly Switzerland and Japan. So some really interesting action.
Here, Justin. Here's for you.
All right, hold on.
Hold on. Let the Newfie get the word in here. Let the Newfie get the word in. Is there any way that women's championships can look to get crowds like Canada USA had today, and not like the game today where there's 100 people sitting in the stands? What do they have to do to market it other than Canada, United States?
Well, that's a good question. Number one, the IIHF, they moved that tournament from Ottawa on very short notice because there was a curling tournament happening at TD Place, which is where it was supposed to happen. So I think they were really strapped by that, and all the people who were coming from X, Y, and Z who had plans to go there, very, very short notice, moved here. So what do they have to do? And not just for them, but for everyone in Toronto, is they really have to make sure that they're getting the word out, that they're putting it in Scotiabank Arena, that the Leafs are elevating their message. There are so many things they have to do, and MLSC has to take part in actually marketing these tournaments when they're here, because these tournaments have been happening predominantly in Canada, along with the World Juniors, for the last number of years, and it's still not marketed well enough. And that's not just in Toronto, but that's all parts of Canada, including Edmonton, where their tournaments have been happening. So all the major ownership groups in our major sports teams have to pitch in. Otherwise, these tournaments are still not going to be filled. So it's not just on the IIHF. It's on a whole community and a whole branding of corporate companies to come together and make that effort to elevate the game.
Okay, we have a request that we show a close-up of the Greek. So there's
who would request that except for the Greek?
Hold on. First of all, take a look at this chiseled piece of work. What do you want to know? Here's what just happened to me. Obviously, you saying I was a little distraught, discombobulated there for a second. So obviously, I'm a passionate individual, as the ladies could attest, without a doubt. So I just had a sip of my beverage, my Coca-Cola Classic that I like to enjoy at about this hour. Big sip. And there was ashes in the goddamn pot, man. And that Greek just buckled, man. It just buckled for a second. God damn it. I had a nice big swig ready, and all it was yesterday's the Morier small regulars, man. Trouble.
So that concludes Blue Jay Strike Zone and the NHL Lowdown. Marty Roberts, I'll start off with you. Tell everybody how they could get a hold of you. Marty will be back here for the Fired Up Network flagship show, Fired Up Live. But go ahead, Marty.
Instagram, Twitter, Old Lefty 22.
All right, Justin Levert, go ahead.
No, that is not my name.
Hold on, Billy. What is his name?
Look, have for Levine. That's Jay Levine. Have a little respect. This guy's the architect of a championship. To address that guy, have a little bit of respect. Don't mock the kid. Don't try to the boy wonder, the legend. All right, don't worry, kid. You're good with me. Double J and the people where they can reach you. But just when you're tough, just don't give any Stanley Cup predictions. Keep it to the areas of.
Florida.
In fairness, I swear the last time I paid attention to the NHL was more like October, so I apologize for my.
That's why we had him on the trade deadline.
At least you didn't say the trade deadline you're paying attention to.
Yeah, that's the one day I really pay attention. So you know what? That's literally the only day. And then I see.
All right, okay, come on, give away.
Anyways, long story short, I agree with Billy. Take Billy's words, and appreciate that. So you can find me on Twitter at JLevineHBS. You can also reach me at the Toronto 6 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
All right, Billy. Here, you cut the promo. Where can people see you Mondays, 7 p.m.?
I don't know where but if you want to live, maybe you can visit me I plan on by Monday to the social services office for a little bit of dropout in the afternoon. So there's a social services office up in Malvern. I'm going to try to leave 400 or 500 so I can go back Mohawk. And then once I do that, man, I'll come on here with a slow-mo, the Rumac Shalom beating, and then I'll go back to doing what I do. And that's absolutely nothing.
All right. These guys will be back here for the flagship show of the Fired Up Network, Thursday, Fired Up Live. Again, the Blue Jays winning their home opener 9-3 over the Detroit Tigers. The Maple Leafs beating the Tampa Lightning 4-3 in Tampa. And Marty, let's go. Tomorrow, Blue Jays win, yes or no?
Yeah. Gossman's going to keep dealing tomorrow, and I expect them to win handily. I'm not going to – predictions are on Billy's side, but I'm saying they're going to win handily.
Justin.
He's their best pitcher so far this season, so it's a Blue Jays win for me.
Billy?
How can I not agree with these two guys, man? I'm not agree. That's a 3-man train, Joe, and you're the fourth. We're gonna run a 3-man train on you, Double J.
All right. On that note, thanks for watching the Fired Up Network, Blue Jays Strike Zone, and the NHL Lowdown. Thanks a lot, guys.